G and H was part of who we were. It was not something we had to actively think about. Just sharing our life with our families and going through life with the people around us. I think that was what G and H was, but we never thought about it. And then when I went out of Bhutan and started studying in the US, I had to think about it actively because people started asking questions about G and H because everyone was so mesmerized by the whole concept of gross national happiness. And the more I thought about G and H, I realized that it really firstly puts a societal well-being perspective on living itself. And the other thing I think it also recognizes is nature and living in harmony with nature. So those things certainly started to I started to realize that even more. And I always wanted to come back because I felt like Bhutan had something very special to offer in that way to the world, which I didn't find in the US.
What were your studies in US?
I studied economics and international relations, and actually my interest in Bhutan grew more because I studied those subjects, because I realized, especially in economics, in development economics that I studied a little bit, it was so much focused on finances and economics part of it, so technical that it didn't recognize some of the other things that was important for development. And when I came back, I worked in
you
this,
had to work on this, in this
Secretariat for the New Development Paradigm, which was a really interesting work, which was trying to actually offer a development philosophy that's based on G and H to the UN goals after the Millennium Development Goals. So I worked on that, and having worked on it once again, I think some of the pertinent things that sticks to me is this whole orientation of humanity towards being a part of nature and progressing in that sense, and also being able to think, internalizing a lot of things and being able to progress internally, our inner dimensions, which I think is important for humanity to answer some of the tough value-based and more questions. But then I think now that I've worked on it, currently I'm working on something called green public procurement, and I think that is, to me, why I chose to work on that is because I felt like everything that a lot of thinkers have thought and great philosophers have thought haven't been quite applied, and thinkers seem to be great doers. And for me, I think it's important for us to now take the concepts, the ideals of G and H, or whatever we say, the greater human progress, and to apply it to say, how does that change us in every day? How do we change every day towards a new paradigm? And then what became clearer to me is that we as human beings are part of the earth firstly, and then there is some sort of society that we are a part of, and then we are there as individuals. So to me, I think the perspective that we are part of the environment of a planet that is fast depleting and it's quite a dangerous situation, I think that was something that became quite apparent. And the other thing that I think personally was again a beautiful transformation was the recognition of our internal sense and how human beings' internal well-being and progress is as important as development in the external sense of the word. Whether it's technological progress or economic progress, whatever that is, has to go hand in hand with some sort of internal progress of ourselves as human beings, and that might result in some questions such as values, our own values, or ethics, or morals, or as humanity, how we progress, how do we envision humanity to be. I think that was another aspect. And another thing that I also realized, I think coming back, was how much of that was already present in Bhutan. Some of these value questions and way of being one with the environment, I think is very intrinsic in Bhutan, that we again can't put our hands on, and we can't say that this is how it is. But that was what it was, and I found that quite empowering. And to me, I think another phase of, again, my own personal growth, because when in the West I'd learned a lot of economics and development, and how does demand and supply work, and how does market work, and all of that, how do financial industries work, but coming back, I felt like there was another set of knowledge that was quite untapped, I would say, in the world, and in the sense of education in the Western world that we got.
Thank you very much, Pema. Thank you for sharing this with us.